Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 111 of Pokemon Horizons titled Drive for Greater Heights with Unwavering Strength just dropped, and this is the final episode of the Mega Voltage arc. How will the battle against the 6-hero end? Let's talk about it. If you watched my previous review, then you know that I really despised the last episode. And while this episode is a follow-up to that, it feels significantly better due to progress actually taking place in the plot of the series. The battle from the last episode continues, and the animation here is significantly better. Not only that, actual storytelling takes place in the battle itself, and immediately as well, as the second dose of Laquium from the Super Strong Sphere makes the 6-hero Pokemon even more dangerous. So much so that one hit from any of the hero Pokemon is enough to take down our hero's Pokemon. In fact, all of them, including Captain Pikachu himself, and at the end, left standing Charcadet, Mega Dragonite, and Lucario. When it looks like it's about to be a 3v6 though, out of nowhere arrives Amethio with his Zygarde, raining down 1,000 arrows on 6 hero Pokemon. He decides to help out our heroes as Zygarde and his Corviknight take on Coral and Sidian, while he has a Ceruledge for the frontline battle. And this is where we get to see how much Liko and Roy in particular have grown, as they're able to use strategy in their battle. Roy Mega evolves his Lucario, and Liko has Amethio use Bitter Blade on Ceruledge so that Flash Fire can activate to give it more strength. And when Charcadet's battling Gouging Fire, Liko has it calm down by reminding it of its battle with Arcanine, and uses that same strategy and has Charcadet jump on Gouging Fire's eyes. When Gouging Fire uses Burning Bulwark, Charcadet's able to absorb that and send out a powerful Ember at it. And Roy sees that Uruto is struggling with this battle, not knowing what to do and scared. We'll get to that in a moment. And Roy remembers their battle with the Steelix early in this arc, so he has Uruto bring his Dragonite near Lapras to bait Galarian Moltres, causing the two to collide. They're about to finish the battle off with Hyper Beam and Flash Cannon respectively, when the two Pokemon are both hit out of nowhere and KO'd by our Boliva. Charcadet is stomped by Gouging Fire and KO'd, and that is followed up by us seeing Corviknight and Ceruledge being done, and Zygarde also being KO'd with Self-Destruct, meaning every available Pokemon in the battle is done. When Liko screams at the 6-hero Pokemon to stop, the power of the Strong Sphere also happens to end, and all 6-hero Pokemon are also done, meaning this battle is over. Our heroes can't stop the explorers as they take the 6-hero Pokemon in trucks with them, and they are all left licking their wounds. Eventually, Dot, Cervantes, and Hamber arrive. The aftermath of the episode is a lot of discussion. Our heroes give Cervantes the data about the negatives of the Strong Sphere, but he says that since he's not a director anymore, he doesn't have power, he can't do anything. But that's when Amethio speaks up, telling him basically not to be a coward, but actually doing something. He's the former director. That actually means something even if he's not the current director anymore. Amethio himself, he's going to gather his Zygardes and get stronger. And if he manages to stop Spinel, then he'll figure out what his next plan is. In this case, it isn't about having a plan and then going for that specific plan. It's about figuring it out as you go. And that seems to break through to the former director as he thanks Amethio for inspiring him. The three former explorers then leave and tell our heroes that they will cross paths again in the future. As our heroes are discussing heading back, Uruto says he won't head back. He's depressed because he was useless in battle. And I didn't speak about it much in the battle itself, but Uruto was terrified the whole time. He didn't do anything by himself and was left shocked and unable to battle. He's frustrated at himself and says he has to get stronger. He's gonna go on a training journey, not return to the ship. But hearing that, both Crocalor and Charcadet come out of their Pokeball to agree with him. Everyone, Liko, Roy, Dot, also want to get stronger, and they want to do it all together. They don't know where they'll do it, but that's when they get a call. It's Briar, who has all the energy in the world again. She has finished her book about Terapagos, and when our heroes tell her they have questions about Terapagos, she tells them to meet her in person. Where's she? Blueberry Academy. That's right, the next arc is going to be in Blueberry Academy, sister school to Narana Academy, and a battle-focused school, and that's going to allow our heroes to train and get stronger. Liko says that Anne is also there as a foreign transfer student, and they feel like they'll be able to get answers from Briar too. It's a perfect next step for them. So our heroes head back to the ship to tell the adults the idea that they have as they head to their next destination. Finally, when we go back to Spinel's lair, we see all of the 6-hero Pokemon in front of him. He was able to see his experiment that he did come to fruition, and now he feels like Terapagos can't stop him anymore. So with that, he can now move on to the next phase of his plan, whatever they may be, and that's where we end the episode. After a very shaky last episode, this episode does a great job of redeeming this finale. Everything that you need to happen in a finale of an arc takes place here. Good battles, and more importantly, good character moments and moments of growth to lead to the next arc. Uruto's fear and struggle really show in this episode, and he grows by vowing to get stronger and not be a hindrance the next time. Cervantes' lost confidence after his loss of directorial position is questioned and removed by the powerful words of his son that he never spent too much time with. The former and the insider explorers all vowing to do their best to stop Spinel and his ambitions. And Liko, Roy, and Dot all show that they've grown as trainers, being able to take on more higher level battles and take on much more powerful enemies even to a stalemate. All of them still pushing to grow stronger by going to Blueberry Academy really shows how far all of them have come. And it's a good parallel to the third arc of the pre-time skip Horizons, where they wanted to get stronger, so they went and did the Narana Academy classes. That was one of the best arcs of the pre-time skip era, and I really hope this one coming up will be the same for the future. Since we're at the end of Mega Voltage, footage, let's talk about the arc as a whole. This one felt like the weakest arc of Horizons. Although I can understand why, it still feels like there's a lot left on the table. The positive of the arc is that the growth of our heroes were real. The loss of Fried, pushing our heroes into leadership roles, is a great change to see. Our heroes using their experiences to bring back the old crew was a slightly long yet important mission, and that leading to the confirmation from Fried himself that he's still around is a good surprise waiting to happen. I really like what they've done after the Fried reveal too. He's rarely been brought up, only Diane has really done so, and that builds anticipation for his return. On the slightly negative though, replacing Fried as Uruto, the character I really couldn't stand at the beginning of Mega Voltage. I've slowly grown on him over time, and I can see what they might be going for with this character. A brash, outwardly confident kid who has real insecurities that he has to try and figure out in order to capture Rayquaza for himself, and that's probably still his goal, but getting away from that for a while has made his character more of an individual one, because prior, it felt like he was just doing what Roy did in the pre-time skip arc, except way worse. But now that we know about his Dragonite and he doesn't really have much control or experiences with battling with it, it can allow for growth potential for both Pokemon and him as a character. The good thing is that there's still things we have questions about, which is good for the next arc. Besides the obvious of what is Spinel planning with the strong sphere, we also don't know about the recovery of the Black Rayquaza. What is it up to? What is Fried up to? And while we know what Amethio's plan is, we don't know what Cervantes and Hamber have in store. All of these things are things that we can look forward to, and I can't wait for the next arc, because hopefully, now that the introduction is settled, the pacing of the story can pick up, and we start getting answers for a lot of these questions. But what about you guys? What did you guys think about this episode and this arc as a whole? Leave it all in the comments down below. I really can't wait to read what you guys think. Other than that, thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.